Chris
Yes.
Doyle, the Citizens Voice.
Just need you to speak up.
Chris Doyle, the Citizens Voice. While this government shutdown has created a media crisis with SNAP, it might be a prelude to a bigger crisis given the One Big Beautiful Bill passed in July and its imposition of new work requirements and its imposition of state matching fund requirements. Speak up. Sure. And its imposition of state matching fund requirements, One Big Beautiful Bill. What would the response be to Pennsylvanians who are anxious about that and the other cuts to SNAP?
Yeah. Well, understand that your congressman from this district voted to cut 510,000 Pennsylvanians off of their health care, and at the same time voted to cut about 140,000 of those 2 million Pennsylvanians off of SNAP. And the third thing they did was gut payments for Medicaid to rural hospitals, which is going to likely end up with 25 rural hospitals shuttering here in Pennsylvania. That's what your congressman voted for, and he was the deciding vote on that measure that President Trump signed into law. I was very, very clear to those congressmen as they were weighing this bill about the impact it would have, not just here in northeastern Pennsylvania, but all across this Commonwealth. They voted for it eyes wide open, knowing what the results would be. I also was very clear that the state does not have the ability to backfill these cuts. And so this is a decision your federal government made to knock 500,000 people off of Medicaid, knock over 100,000 off of SNAP, and really harm our rural hospitals. I think it's shameful. And hopefully you will see a new Congress come and reverse those cuts going forward. And if Tuesday night is any indication, I think you're going to see a lot of change going forward here and hopefully reverse these damaging cuts.
Governor,
Bill. Oh, there he is. Jimmy, look at that. Huh?
in all your years,
You got one of those?
I will.
You got
You will, Bill.
Yeah.
But in all your years in elective office, did you ever think you'd come to the point where you would see issues like feeding people, taking care of people in health care, human issues that people depend on to live, ever become so politicized?
No, Bill, and it's sad to see. I mean, I think there were always these constants and these sort of universally recognized things that sides might have slightly different views on how to effectuate the policy around that, but everybody kind of agreed, right? You agreed that folks need to eat. You agreed that they got to have access to health care. You agreed that they got to have safe communities. And again, we might have different policies and different approaches to addressing that, but these were universal things that people agreed on. I mean, heck, these are universal teachings that come from biblical days. And yet we find ourselves now where you've got the people in charge in DC literally using 2 million hungry people in Pennsylvania as pawns in their political games. I believe in getting stuff done, not playing political games. I think unfortunately DC does too much posturing, too many political games, and not enough solving problems. And you're seeing an example of that. You're seeing the effect of that. I mean, we're seeing it here at Weinberg. I'll just share a story with you from another part of the state. On Tuesday, I was driving through North Philly, and as I'm driving, I see about a 3-block long line of people, moms with their kids, elderly folks, people in wheelchairs, you know, every different type of person from every different walk of life, 3 blocks long. And as I approached the end of the line, I looked down the street, and it went as far as you could see. I realized when we doubled back around, these folks had lined up at a pop-up food pantry along Broad Street in Philadelphia. So whether you're here in northeastern Pennsylvania, you're in Philadelphia, you're anywhere in this Commonwealth, you got people who are so hungry they're lining up for blocks and blocks and blocks to get food in the United States of America, where we have wonderful farmers like the Braces who are producing enough food for all these people to eat. The intervening event here is that the government that's in charge in Washington, D.C. has broken that link between our farmers and folks who are hungry, and they're withholding food from people who are hungry. That should upset all of us. I don't give a damn what party you're in. I don't care who you voted for. We should want our neighbors to eat. And as a result of the federal government's actions, they're not eating. And that breaks my heart. And that's why we're trying to do something about it here in the Commonwealth.